Are you looking for answers to the unknown? Welcome to Live with medium Lisa Phoenix and step into the magical presence of the metaphysical realm. Lisa will share the wisdom and musings from her own experiences, have intriguing conversations with other mediums and healers, in addition to exploring a wide array of topics and teachings on intuitive and mediumship development. Lisa will be taking your calls and inviting your friends and loved ones in the spirit world to share their stories with us. Raise your awareness as you are reunited on the level of love, and let's go live with medium Lisa Phoenix.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's a wonderful day in Southern California. Welcome to the Live with Lisa Phoenix radio show. I'm Lisa Phoenix, your host, a medium and energy intuitive. My show is all about healing, mediumship, and energy management. And my special guest this morning is Sharon Harvey, spiritual medium and tutor at the Arthur Findlay College of Mediumship in Stansted, England. We're going to go ahead and talk about trance today. And since the station is currently working on the call-in feature for the show, for now, if you want to share some of your own challenges or ask questions about your own specific journey, please go to my Facebook page, Lisa Phoenix Live, and post your questions, and we will do our best to address them while we're on the air. Let me talk to you a little bit about Sharon Harvey. Sharon is a tutor at the Arthur Findlay College of Mediumship in England, where she is known for her lively, humorous approach, as well as her capacity to inspire everyone she comes in contact with. Sharon is a physical and a mental and a trance medium, and she also does trance healing. Please visit Sharon's website at www.walkingwithspirit, that's WALKINGWITHSPIRIT.net, where you can get a better picture of what this amazing woman is all about. And also, you can also go to her Walking with Spirit Facebook page as well. Now, I also want to mention that Sharon will be visiting the U.S. from October 13th through November 3rd, where she will be doing various workshops and demos and private sittings. And Sharon, good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Lisa. Thank you very much.
No, and thanks for coming on again. We always love having you.
Oh, that's kind of you. Very kind.
Now, you're going to be doing some events here in the U.S. October 15th through the 19th, you're going to be in New York. And yes, you will be doing some public dems and weekend workshops and private sittings, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
And do you know what has it been set yet as far as what type?
It hasn't really. No, it hasn't really been set in stone. So once we find out what the people want, what they'd like, that's when we'll be doing that, you know.
Perfect. And then you're going to be in San Francisco on October 22nd through the 23rd, and you're going to be doing demos at the East West Bookstore, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yes. And also, and you're going then to the San Francisco Bay Area from October 24th through the 27th. And you're going to be, again, doing some dems, a workshop or two, and some private sittings, correct?
That's correct. Yes, that's right.
And then you're off to Seattle and the Pacific Northwest between October 29th and November 2nd. And again, you're going to be doing more workshops, demos, private readings.
That's correct. So I'm really excited and looking forward to all of these places.
Yes, you are going to be quite the busy woman.
Yes. But, spreading the word of the Spirit, that's what this is all about.
Of course, yes. And everyone, so I really would suggest, again, go to Sharon's webpage. That is www.walkingwithspirit.net, or tune in to her Facebook page with the same name, and really keep track of this because it's really going to be an amazing event. And I really suggest, I highly recommend, if you're in those areas, that you really attend. It's going to be something amazing. So Sharon, we're going to talk about trance today.
Yes.
To start us off, can you share with our listeners a little bit about how you you branched off and started working with trance?
Well, really, I didn't start the trance because this is how it normally goes. Mm-hmm. You do your, evidential mediumship, then you move on to maybe healing, and then you move on to the trance and then to the physical. But actually, mine was evidential mediumship, then the physical. I was really interested in that. And then that's when the trance started to come in, funny enough. And then since then, I've really, really got involved with healing, and I love it so much. It's so fabulous.
And are we talking trance healing?
Just spiritual healing.
Gotcha.
Sometimes the deeper level, which is what you'd call trance healing.
Gotcha. And here in the U.S., sometimes they term it channeling.
Yeah. Okay, then. So is that what they call trance channeling?
No, you can call it trance. I just wanted to make that comment so that listeners, in case they didn't understand, would connect the two dots.
So is all trance called channeling in the US?
Truthfully, it depends upon where you are. Sometimes they refer to it as channeling, and sometimes they refer to it as trance. The more experienced people, the more who are more into this sort of work, would know trance. Some of the people who don't know so much would hear the word channeling,
Yeah.
Gotcha. So Sharon, please share with us a little bit about your experience with trance.
My experience. Okay. Well, so first of all, trance is still mental mediumship. Okay.
Yes.
Some people seem to think it's a physical thing, but it's not. It's still mental mediumship. It's just that you're in a more passive state. That's all, really. Whereas evidential mediumship that you normally give, is an upbeat thing. So that's why, trance is still a mental mediumship and not physical. So that's the first thing we need to explain.
Okay.
And to get into a trance state, we need to be passive, very passive. Now, this is a big problem for a lot of people.
Yes.
Including myself. I'll include myself on that. It's very, very difficult to get yourself to a quiet place. Obviously, I can do that now, but it took a lot of years and a lot of practice trying to get myself into a passive state. Because as you know, my personality is very outgoing, and I'm thinking all the time. And in fact, if I can just share this with you, on my week, I believe you was there when we did the bands, what we called the Wonder Woman headbands. Was you there?
No, not so sure about that.
Okay, when we.
Yes.
Well, we put on these headbands. I'm trying to think what they're called, but my brain won't let me do it.
Right, I didn't understand because of the way you described it. But basically, they measure your brain waves when you're going to the different levels of. Yeah. Yes.
So you was present when we saw the brain waves of one of the tutors, Angie Morris.
Yes.
We saw her brain waves. just on a normal waking state, I'm talking about. And then you saw the brainwaves of me, Sharon, in a normal waking state, and they was completely different, wasn't they?
They were very different, yes.
So you can see I had this very, very active brain. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about that is to say that if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Gotcha. Well,
So you need to be in a passive state, okay? And every type of mediumship is an altered state. So we can't say be in an altered state because all of it is, whatever we do is, an altered state, whether it's, healing, evidential, whatever we're doing is an altered state. So we need to be patient as well. So that is the biggest thing, is that we need to be patient, because you really can't force this. And I promise you, that is the truth. You cannot force it, and we're always learning,
Right.
We're always finding new things with our mediumship, and it never stops because it's a living thing.
Yes. And again, it takes a lot of practice too.
Lots.
Yeah.
And lots of practice, and it really does. And you know what? There's going to be times when people are going to be going, oh, my God, I can't keep this up. I can't keep this going. I'm fed up. Nothing's happening. But when it does, and all of a sudden it'll just be so amazing that you get this hunger for it, that you will keep practicing because you will need it more and more.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's how it goes. Anyway, so the biggest problem is us not trusting ourselves,
Amen to that.
And then that leads to failure in our work. And then the hardest problem for the spirit world
Sharon, is excuse me, I've got to interrupt you for a second because we're coming to a commercial break. So can you hold that thought, and we will continue, pick it up right there when we get back. Yeah. Everybody, you're listening to Live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, medium Sharon Harvey. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
What if living didn't have to be so serious?
What if you could move beyond your problems with greater confidence and ease than you've ever imagined?
Throw your labels out the window and join the Irreverent Therapist for practical tips and a very different way of approaching the changes you would like to create.
Marilyn Bradford
and Pam Hodling
have empowered hundreds of people to come out of self-judgment, quit looking to experts, and begin to create the lives they desire.
Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Irreverent Therapist Show.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Matt Connerton here. Join Jen Coffey and I twice a week for Matt Connerton Unleashed, a political talk show that's a little different than what you're used to. No liberal or conservative agenda here, just an honest dialogue about truth and how things really work in the world of politics. Matt Connerton Unleashed, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, medium Sharon Harvey, and we're discussing trance this morning. Sharon, sorry about the interruption there, but I'm turning the reins back over to you.
Thank you. So, like I was saying, the biggest part is us not trusting ourselves in our work. That is, so difficult because it makes the spirit world's work harder. And, we're a big problem for them when we do this. Yeah.
Yes.
So we really need to learn to trust the spirit world and trust in that power that we are and that we can do this, And, of course, we're human beings. So everybody's going to have a little wobble now and then. But try and stay in that power and know that we can do this.
Sharon, how do you have any recommendations for people as far as learning how to trust more in the spirit world?
Yes, I do. Now, and this is it, right? This is what I'm going to say to you, and hopefully that people can see where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we are spiritualists and we're believing in this, you've got to be believing in this to be wanting to do it. Otherwise, you're not going to be trying to do it because you'll think it's total rubbish, right?
Right.
So you've got to be believing that it's there. You have to be able to believe this. Now, I want us to look at when we are breathing, every day we are breathing. And we are believing that oxygen is there, aren't we?
Yes.
We're believing that the fresh air is there. We cannot see it. We cannot touch it. But we know it's there because it keeps us going. So we are breathing. But yet we cannot see this fresh air. So please, I want you to think of that as the spirit world. You have to believe that they are there for us. And to trust that, just as we trust that we can breathe, that the fresh air, the oxygen is all out there and it's helping us to live, that's the same as the spirit.
Wonderful.
So does that make sense to you?
It makes complete sense. No, and I think it's a great analogy for people.
Yeah. So, and much the same as that spirit within. I'm a big, I've got a big passion on that spirit within. That we have to, believe in us and believe in that power there. So you have to help that trust because that spirit, whether you're 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever your age, that spirit has helped you through the darkest times in your life and also the joyous times. So it's always been there and it will always be there for you.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So trust is a big thing, but just believe that. You have to believe in yourself because if you don't believe you, then, you might as well give it up because you have to believe that this, is happening and it can. Okay, then. So we're going to sit quietly, and try and be as still as possible and try not to let our mind be active.
Okay.
Which sometimes, I will talk about it later, how you can do this, but your mind will think about things because it's natural. We've got an active brain, haven't we?
Yes.
And, so everything we think of, all these things are going around in our minds, okay? So it will be like that. So what we have to do, we have to find ourselves a discipline to get to that quiet place. Now, the discipline cannot be an active thing because if it is, it's making your mind, your thoughts come back into thinking. You've got to think to make it do something active. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes.
So what we need to do is find a discipline that is very passive so we don't get too, active in our thoughts. So for me, it's the breath. This is the thing, it's the breath. So you listen to your breath. And I will come back to that again more, but I just want to sort of talk about this. But then eventually your mind should, when you keep doing that breath and staying passive, eventually your mind should sort of be sidetracked away from everyday things. Now, I know that sounds crazy because we're asking you to think of something. So we're asking you to be passive but be a little active, if that makes sense.
No, yes. And then some other examples. Are there other examples for people who aren't so good at, is there different things you can do?
With the breath we're talking and stuff?
Either the breath or, I've heard other people, sometimes they look at a candle flame or something like
I'm
that.
I'm going to come to that
Gotcha.
all in a minute.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, so then eventually we will be sidetracked, which will allow the spirit world to come closer and to influence us, okay? Now, if we start to see like scenes, of, I don't know, a pretty field, the sun, or people, okay, then this, when you're in this state, this is normally a meditative state, okay? So, but that doesn't matter. You should keep going, be patient, keep sitting and keep doing it, because these are just stages that you will go through, and you will do, and that doesn't matter. But just be patient, because we've got to work at keeping our thoughts, out of our minds, if that makes sense to you. Now, if we see colours, okay, then this could be inspirational, being an inspirational state. You feel inspired to talk, or whatever. Now, obviously, there's different states of trance, isn't there? And it depends on the development of the medium. So, how much they've sat for and what have you. And the thing is, there's these different states. So as we go along, we get into a deeper state and things become stronger. So, you will probably start off, if you, very new, at that meditative state, which is fabulous. Although meditation is for yourself, for your well-being, and nothing really to do with the discarnate spirit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then we'll get to that state of the inspirational, the colours and that. And that's when, I don't know, do you have addresses in churches in America, Lisa?
You mean, like the sermons and stuff like that? Yes, there is.
Most of them people will be in an altered state. Most of them people will. And so they will be being inspired to say whatever they are saying.
Yes.
So that's it. And so we've got that. Anyway, now when it comes to trance, it's like you can't chew it over. You can't think about the words that are coming. You can't dissect them, if that makes sense.
Well, that would stop you, right?
Yes, because if you start to dissect it, that means you're bringing yourself back out of that state, that quieter state, and you're starting to be active in your mind. So if you get the word, I don't know, if you get the word, love is coming from our world, and you start thinking, oh, God, that's a bit corny or something like that,
right.
Then you bring yourself back from that state. Or if you start thinking, oh, what's the next bit then? I don't want to say that because I want the rest of the chapter. Then you're bringing yourself back out of that state. Because really how it should go, at this minute, this is Sharon talking to you. I'm thinking about how I am talking, okay? But when you are in that trance state, you say the philosophy, whatever, and then Sharon can hear that being said. Does that make sense to you?
Makes complete sense, yes.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you are explaining it to people so they kind of have an understanding of when they're kind of going through the different things, what's happening.
Yeah. So anyway, when real trance is happening, everybody, absolutely everybody in the room should feel that power. Because if the spirit is present, then you will feel that. I mean, it's incredible. I'm sure you've seen people in real trance and felt that, Lisa.
I definitely have, yes. I've seen you in real trance, Sharon. So, so I can attest to you.
Yeah. So, you can get educated people, all right, and they can be so wonderful at speaking, and maybe they are a little deluded and think that they are in the trance state. But if you are not feeling that power, Lisa, from the spirit, then the trance state is not there. Because where there is the trance is the spirit. Where there is the spirit is the trance.
Gotcha. Now, just a question. I don't know if this it makes any sense or not, but how do people end up being deluded into thinking they're in trance? I mean, is it?
Well, it could be one or two things. If they're sitting for friends and their friends say, "Oh, that was wonderful," if they're not experienced and they don't understand there has to be that power, then they can be saying it's lovely. And the people themselves, think, but it's coming maybe from, like sometimes, I'll tell you what, Lisa, sometimes it's coming from their spirit within. But with that, there is a power.
Gotcha.
When the spirit within speaks, and I have heard the most amazing things when the spirit within has spoken. It's amazing. So I often say to them, people in my class, don't be disappointed if I say to you that was your spirit speaking, because you shouldn't be disappointed because it's beautiful. After all, it's the same thing. It's just that we've got a body and the spirit world hasn't.
Right.
Exactly the same thing. But there is people that are deluded and, it's just their imagination. They don't really understand it. And so because people say it's good, they continue to do that.
Gotcha. Perfect. Okay, we're taking out for a commercial break again. Thank you, Sharon. We'll be right back, and we'll be talking more about trance. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, medium Sharon Harvey. Stay tuned.
Feed your soul with waves of consciousness on OMTimes Radio.
Radio Namaste leads you down the yellow brick road into portals of consciousness with the blue-collar goddess as your host. Interviews with humans who could be famous or just popular, and answers to everything are on the agenda. Tune into OMTimes Radio and drop in on Thursdays at 3 Eastern. It's a different brand of enlightenment.
Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Simone Milasas would like you to know that business can be fun, which is why she wrote the book, Joy of Business. What if you could have the joy of business rather than the stress and struggle? Most of the time, the only thing stopping you from a thriving business is you. In the Joy of Business book, Simone gives you access consciousness tools and pragmatic ways to get out of your own way and to create the business, life, and living you know is possible and beyond what this reality says is achievable. Business is joy. It's creation. It's generative. It can be the adventure of living. You can purchase your copy of the book through Amazon or Joy of Business website, www.accessjoyofbusiness.com.
Hi, this is Angela Levesque, host of Entanglement Radio. Join me Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations with visionaries in spiritual science and conscious healing. Entanglement Radio, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Transcendent talk for the conscious mind.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, medium Sharon Harvey, who is discussing trance. Sharon, welcome back.
Thank you, Lisa. So I was saying, you need to, I'm sorry, I want to get this all out before it finishes. So you need to be responsible for what you say. This is a really important thing, because as we was talking about people who are sometimes deluded, and I've heard many a time people say, the spirit world told me to say that, it was the spirit world, not me, the spirit world are saying, and that's not correct, because we need to be responsible. Because let me tell you this, they would never, ever tell you what to do. And they only come because they want to take care of us, Lisa. They want to be helpful to us. They want to be of service to us, to nourish us in a spiritual way. That's what they come for. And they would never make us say anything that we don't want to. Never, ever, ever. So we must be responsible for what is said. And I promise you, if it's in the, if you are in the real trance state, only beautiful messages of love will come. And that really is true, So obviously there's different states of trance. You've got different things you've got the philosophical, which is what I'm mostly sort of talking about today, like the philosophical, what do you call it? The channeling?
Yeah, the channeling. Yes.
Yeah.
Where you're channeling messages from your higher self or your higher spirit.
Okay. Oh, from the higher spirit, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
there's that, and then there's channeling from the discarnate spirit or channeling your God.
I'm talking about channeling from the discarnate spirit.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the philosophical. That's what I would call that. Then we have trance clairvoyance, where you can, be in a deep state and bring forward, the clairvoyance, like people's loved ones, sound like them, incredible evidence. I've done that a couple of times and I've been blown away for it. But unfortunately, I don't do it to order. I wish I did, but very amazing. Mm. Then we've got the healing that comes into that also, which is, so wonderful and so bang on the money, to be bringing in that wonderful healing power. I'm sorry, I'm getting excited saying bang on the money. Meaning it's very good, it's right to bring that healing in. The same as physical healing, but that's another story. And also we have automatic writing when people are in a trance state too. So
now is the automatic writing, does that come in a deep trance state or?
No, it can be the same as long as the person has to just have their, be in, an altered state, get into this really passive state, just hold the pen very loosely and the spirit world, can guide and do that. Gotcha. That's got nothing to do with your mind being in it, like some people do writing, but that is the spirit world using that, your arm, taking it, and drawing it so freely you allow them to manipulate your hand, which, if we look at it, has to come through the medium because it's got to be there in that subconscious place, hasn't it?
Yes, but I do think people get confused sometimes with the word automatic writing between like the spirit actually controlling what you're and just kind of getting inspiration from.
I was just going to say, because a lot of people do think inspirational writing is automatic writing, and it's not.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let's look at this step by step. We need to tell them the intention, the spirit world. Okay, if you're starting this, and there's nothing to be frightened of, nothing can get inside your body. That's the law of the land. That cannot happen to you. But we need to tell the spirit world the intention. We need to be passive, and we need to accept the closeness of the spirit world. So you don't want to be nervous about this. You could be feeling much bigger when this happens. You might feel cobwebs. You might do a bit of rocking. Have you seen that? I know.
Yes.
Yeah. So, this rocking, which is really the power, that is happening there. Sometimes, I don't know if you've had this, Lisa, where you've had heart palpitations.
Yes. And yeah.
And that can be very frightening for people. I've had to stop a lot of students where they've got panicky, thinking, that something terrible is happening to them. But it's sort of like a revving up of the spirit world,
Yeah.
If that makes sense. They're revving up. And then if you was to just speak those words or just surrender, actually, just surrender, then that would release it, and a bit like letting the clutch out of the motorbike and coasting along, if that makes sense to you. But anyway, so there's nothing to be frightened of, Sometimes you might speak in a bit of a different accent, but that's not a problem, is it,
Right.
But the spirit, they won't be speaking from our thoughts, our mind, but from the subconscious mind. Okay, that's where it comes from, the subconscious mind. So, sorry, I've just had a little blank moment.
That's okay. That's okay. We were talking about the different stages.
Sorry, that's it. I'm just thinking, when we are inspired, that means, our minds are in it. These are the different states I'm thinking now.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a light control, we are receptive to the spirit, like feeling them come closer and, some words. But as like a more suggestive state is like more of the spirit and less of us. So eventually, when you're talking, channeling, from the spirit world, it should be flowing, not going, okay, this is what we are thinking, we are sending love, and then stopping. It should be a flow, like the soul is here,
right.
It should just flow. But it takes years to develop this, so patience is a must. But the rewards are great, I have to say.
Yes. And I know a lot of people, because they'll come into a thing and they get frustrated because they don't understand that it takes a long time. It's not just instantaneous. And sometimes spirit will give you a taste of what it's like, won't they? And then...
That's right. They dangle, what we call in England, dangle the carrot. And then you have to work for it. And that's what this whole life is about here in this existence. Is about, like learning, evolving, going forward, understanding the whole, all of what you are, and that's really what it's about.
Yeah.
But, in my opinion, we don't have many deep trance mediums now because our lives have moved on, It's a modern world. We're very busy, where if we look at some of the amazing pioneers of the past, some of the wonderful people who have worked, like Emma Hardinge Britton. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she gave us the 7 principles because, as you know, I'm a member of the Spiritualist National Union, very proud to be that.
Yes.
And we have the 7 principles.
Yes.
And that was given to us through a trance mediumship of Emma Hardinge Britton from Robert Owen in the spirit world.
Gotcha.
So, anyway, so I think that we don't have as many wonderful mediums like that, and Silver Birch, and I could go on and on and on, amazing people of the past that brought so much to us. Yeah.
Well, just for people who are looking to get into this work, can you just name a few that if they wanted to study them, that they could study?
Silver Birch is my most favourite.
Okay, great.
And there's lots. Okay. I don't know. I think maybe maybe has about 10 books or more.
Oh, okay, great.
And the philosophy is just outstanding, just amazing. And the man who he actually channeled through, he was really a bit of a skeptic, and like for this type of work, and I'm trying to think what he's called. You know, he worked for like a newspaper. Oh God.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't recall his name. Anyway, it's fine. But if they just look up Silver Birch, they'll get it. Okay.
And they'll see. You know, so he's fabulous. You know, I think so. Emma Hardinge Britton, she was a great trance medium. And I tell you what, thinking of trance, if we talk about trance healers,
yes,
this is something for you to think about, okay? Now, one of them who is still alive today, so I'm thinking of more modern people.
Yes.
And that is we've got someone who was called George Chapman, okay, who was a trance healer here. And also he had a son who is still alive today called Michael Chapman, okay? And he's also a trance healer. Now, the trance healer's control for the father, okay, of George Chapman was called Dr. William Lang, okay? Now, Michael Chapman's control, which is the son, okay, was Dr. Basil Lang. So for two healers, George Chapman, Michael Chapman, they had controls in the spirit world who was father and son also.
Wow, that's amazing.
Now, how amazing is that? You can't believe that. That's
incredible. I got chills when you said that.
Yeah. So are we coming up for another break if I don't stop?
We have about 30 seconds. So
okay, then you see, I'm getting good at this, Lisa.
You are.
I'll hold fire.
Yeah, and Gordon was amazing in trance too, right? Gordon Higginson.
God. Good. Well, as you know, Gordon Higginson, the love of my life.
Yes.
You know, I think he was just amazing as a man, you know, without anything else, without all the other wonderful gifts that he had.
And here we come to another commercial break. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, medium Sharon Harvey. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Looking for inspiration?
Want to be inspired?
Not sure where to go?
Find Mark and Kim every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Inspired Living.
Topics will elevate consciousness and range from metaphysics to the human and social experience and all things spiritual.
Welcome to an inspired community that offers support, encouragement, and new ways of thinking. You are the inspired and the inspiration.
Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Welcome to The Gathering Around My Kitchen Table on Equilarium FM, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join my guests as we integrate spirituality into everyday reality with vibrant conversations, inspired interviews, and my latest channeled guidance to inspire and brighten your day. I'm Claire Johnson, and together we'll be raising vibrations across the nations.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're live with Lisa Phoenix and my special guest, medium Sharon Harvey. Sharon, welcome back.
Thank you, darling. I'm going to talk quite quickly now because I want to say a lot of things.
Okay.
So like I said to you, in my opinion, we don't have a lot of deep trance mediums because life has moved on. It's quick, it's modern, we're working more and things like that. But I do still believe that there are mediums out there that have a wonderful rapport with their guides. And I believe that they can bring this caliber of trance back, which is needed, Now, why is it needed? I would say that to you at the end. I want to tell you why we need this trance. But I just want to say you don't have to be frightened. You don't have to sit in the dark. You can sit on your own because you're just trying to be passive. So by sitting on your own and being in that quiet place, when it comes to you sitting with a friend or a circle, whatever the case, then that power has been saved. You've got yourself into that nice place. You've got yourself to be able to be passive, which means the spirit world will be able to blend with you so much easier, because you've been sitting in the quiet, developing yourself, and then you will be able to talk, channel, whatever you want to call it, to the spirit world, and that'll be fabulous. You'll be ready for it. Now, funny enough, talking about Silver Birch, he said that you attract your trance guides when you are ready to make the commitment. So you see, when you are ready to make the commitment, and that's what this is. It's a commitment. It doesn't, go really quick and fast. You have to, be patient and give of yourself. And I promise you the rewards are fabulous. Really, really fabulous. It is much easier for the guides if they've got a person who is well educated. That's really good. But on saying that, if we look at, he's from your neck of the woods, actually, from America, Andrew Jackson Davis.
Gotcha.
He wasn't a very well-educated person. He came from a family that just got by. I know his father was an alcoholic. His mother was a very religious lady. But he sat and look at the amazing, trance mediumship that he had. He told us about the Summerland. He brought us to this place, where we can know we can be safe and that, life continues, etc., and a good place for our children. So you don't really have to be educated, but it is easier because the spirit world use, things, thoughts, things, memories of yours in that database. And if it's not there, then it makes it not such an easier task for them to get there, to get over what they want to say.
Gotcha.
So why do we have trance? What is its purpose? Its purpose is to show the spirit world is an intelligence. And that's what we need to know. And they know our world needs this. They know that. And if I could just read this very quickly, and this is Silver Birch, and it's from the book, the teachings, of Silver Birch.
Yes.
And it's called The Law of Service. What a glorious message we have. Teachings of Silver Birch. Okay. So what a glorious message we have for your world of matter. A message that makes man free and teaches them to rejoice in their divine heritage. A message that teaches them to throw off old shackles and bonds. A message that teaches them to rejoice in the fullness of spiritual knowledge. A message that shows them how to live on, not only on the planes of matter, but on the planes of spirit. A message that brings them beauty, love and wisdom, understanding, truth and happiness. A message that speaks of service, service, service. And that is what this life is about. Being of service, Lisa. Being of service to the people here in this world. Being of service to the spirit world. It's all about being of service and helping one another. You know, the brotherhood of man, being there for one another. I'd just like to say this as well. You had Matthew Smith last time, I believe, on your radio station, Lisa.
Yes.
A minister, I should say, I'm sorry, minister. He's a minister of the Spiritualist National Union. And I know Matthew very well. And I just wondered if I might tell you that he has a wonderful book on trance. So that is Minister Matthew Smith. And the book is called Entrancement. So if anybody was interested in, you know, developing their trance, I would really recommend this book from Matthew, because I know it also helped me in my journey of, you know, entrancement, if you like.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. And I'm sure you can look it up online and you can find it, you know, but we're getting down to the hour here, Sharon. And I wanted to just, do you have any final words of advice for people who are either beginning this work or tarrying forward in this work?
Yeah, do you know what I forgot to do, Lisa? I wanted to say to you, yes, I do have words of advice. Keep working at it. Please, please be patient and work at it, because it's the most wonderful feeling you could ever have within, you know, this physical body. It's amazing because they come close and they only come with love. What I want to say to you is, when your mind is very active, think of the breath coming into the mouth, to the bridge of the nose and out, and keep doing that. And every time you think, oh, my leg hurts, or what's that noise, go back to that breath until it gets so boring you will go to a nothingness. If you don't like the breath, then like you said, Lisa, people think of a candle flickering because that's quite boring. But as long as it's a passive thing, that's what you need to do. And like I said at the start of it, if I can do that, if I can get my mind to a quiet place, I know that you can too. And if you just believe that beautiful, wonderful, divine light of God that you are, that power that is within you, and it can connect to that eternal, ever-present God that is above, and, you know, the discarnate spirit, that as you blend and connect together, and that wonderful love that they come with you, you will just be, you know, so happy in this life, I promise you, knowing that they are so close and love you so much.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And Sharon, thank you so much for teaching us all about trance. I really appreciate it. And so do all my listeners, because, especially, you know, as you said, there aren't a lot of deep trance, people now, but, we find there's actually even less over here in America than there are, like, say, in England and in other places. So it's really good to hear authentic people who practice trance come on and do that. And so I thank you very much for that. And I also would like to just again talk about Sharon's trip in the U.S. And again, she is going to be in New York between October 15th and October 19th. And she's going to be doing public demonstrations, weekend workshops, and private sittings. And then in San Francisco, she'll be there from October 22nd to October 23rd doing demos at the East West Bookstore, which is sure to be an amazing event. And not that all her events won't be amazing, but, and it's, And in the San Francisco Bay Area, October 24th through October 27th. And then again in Seattle and the Pacific Northwest between October 29th and November 2nd. Again, I would really love it if you all would go to Sharon's website, which is www.walkingwithspirit.net. That is WALKINGWITHSPIRIT.net. And also, again, Sharon, your Facebook page is the same. Is it walkingwithspirit.net as well?
Just walking with spirit.
Okay, so I really recommend that she's going to be having updates about her trip over here in the U.S. as things get more finalized. It's going to be an exciting trip. So, and again, I know Sharon's you're going to be doing a little bit of everything, right? You're going to be teaching mediumship and maybe doing some trance or not doing.
Yes.
Okay.
We've got trance healing. We've got all sorts happening. So they need to be updated on the website. Can I just say this? Yes. Listen, America, modern spiritualism started with you, with the Fox sisters. So as far as I'm concerned, America rocks.
Right. Thank you so much for being on the show this morning, Sharon, and thank you for teaching us. And I want to also thank all you listeners out there for hanging out with us this morning. Live with Lisa Phoenix is on every Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Time. So please tune back in with us next week. Thank you, and see you later.